Yeah. Now, this scandal has overrun this town. You, before the break, were chastising me for defending the men in a way, which I really wasn't. I was very uncomfortable with that. But I framed the whole thing as an episode of Jaws, the movie Jaws, where a New England town is invaded, and that's painting the woman as the sole invading agent, aren't I?
Yes, and it's just, you know, disturbing to me, Dr. Drew. And my grandmother had a saying, if you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. So these men now have made a choice. They went out, they paid this prostitute, but somehow now all of a sudden they want the court to protect their privacy, their identity. But nobody's making that claim for this 29-year-old woman who, you know, obviously has some issues going on that we don't know. Some things have not come out. We're going to learn more about her. But in some ways, she's being victimized. And it's okay to put her picture all over the internet, but not the men. That's trouble.
All right, so let me talk to some women who might have another opinion about this. There is the young lady who's been accused in this case. I'm joined now by Shelley Lubin, she herself a former porn star and prostitute and founder of the Pink Cross Foundation. As well, I have from Nevada two legal prostitutes, Courtney Cross and Sunny Lane from the famed Bunny Ranch. Okay, ladies, let me start with you guys since you're on camera here. Do you have a different point of view than what Areva and I have been talking about here?
Absolutely, yes. We have a different point of view.
Go ahead.
We feel like Alexis premeditated everything. She set these guys up. She purposely shot secret film of them, put them out on the internet, and she exposed them to the rest of the world. Really, she should be the one that's exposed. The guys should be very private in this. They shouldn't have their names out there. And for the reason of is because she deliberately did this for a reason. She knew exactly what she was doing, and that's why at the Bunny Ranch, we are very discreet for that reason.
So you guys have a very different point of view about prostitution. Generally, you're sort of saying that men should be allowed to do this in a discreet way. Is that your point of view?
Absolutely, yes. They should be able to come to the Bunny Ranch, have a good time, have some memories, and go back to their lives.
Areva, you still think the guys are going to get fleas?
You know, Dr. Drew, all I can say is that the Bunny Ranch is trying to protect its flow of income and its business by saying, men, come to Bunny Ranch and you'll be protected. The law is just the opposite. The law says if you're charged with a crime, whether it's prostitution or assault or, you know, bank robbery, your name becomes public. So we're not going to change the law to protect men who want to have sex for money with women.
But again, let's remind people that my issue is not protecting the men, but protecting those families that are going to be...
But it's the identity of the men, Dr. Drew, and the law says no. If you're charged with a crime, your name can become public. That's the law in most states in this country.
Listen.
So are we to change the law to protect some men that want to purchase
the families.
sex?
I want the men. Let's get the men, but find a way to get the families.
It doesn't work that way.
Right,
and by
ladies,
publicizing the men, we're making men hopefully make better choices.
I agree.
Not break the law, not engage in prostitution, and their names won't be on the front page of the paper.
All right, Janice in New Hampshire. Janice, you got a comment here?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
I live within a 75-mile radius of where this alleged prostitution ring has been happening, and my issue is that I do not understand why everybody is so down on this woman. However, the men get scot-free. To me, that is no different than a drug dealer giving our children drugs, but they're not being responsible.
Janice, I think you have a champion here in the room with me.
Janice raises an excellent point.
When
people commit all kinds of crimes, drug crimes, murder, their names are plastered all over the news, and some of those criminals have children. They have families, and we're not so concerned about protecting them in those criminal situations.
I am, but let me quickly go to Shelley. I haven't gone to you yet. I've got just about less than a minute. Shelley, do you have an opinion on this as well? I'm sure you do.
I have to agree with her. The men definitely make a demand on the women, and we are usually very young, between the ages of maybe 15 to 25, and we allow these men to make demands on us. And, you know, I have to agree. I think their names should be publicized. I think everyone involved should be publicized, and, you know, whoever was involved. When I was in prostitution, it went both ways. The men made demands on me, and I used the men back to take my rage out on them for even causing me to be part of a prostitution act. So I have to agree with her. I think they should publicize all the names, and the men should definitely be held accountable for making demands on these women. It is sex trafficking.